Hello everyone, and welcome back to the episode breakdown. This time, we're covering episode 45. Now, I know what you're all asking. Kaiser, where have you been? Why are you 2 whole episodes behind? We've missed the comforting, lust-inducing music that is your voice, and crave to know the machinations of your masterpiece. Well, my beautiful, hungry children, my apologies are as vast as they are sincere. October, November, and December were the toughest months I've had working on the series and TeamFourStar material in general since its inception, partially due to familial obligations over the holidays, to the wedding on behalf of one of our founding members, to fluctuating health, and some other excuses people are going to complain about later. I apologize for the wait, not just for the breakdowns of episode 45 and 46, but for episode 47 itself as well. It will not be completed this month, as we are currently hard at work on History of Trunks. That's right, break out the Ron Paul reaction images, folks, because it's happening. Now, with all that out of the way, let's break this sumbitch down, shall we? This first scene is riddled with tiny edits. Dr. Brief's eye movements, as well as being replaced here. Bulma's eyes are completely redrawn in this shot. Krillin's lip flaps are from another scene entirely. I ended up moving these blueprints over Dr. Brief's face in this shot, and I moved Krillin's eyes for both of these shots. In this next scene, I gave Roshi some lip flaps so he could talk. But the big visual edit here is Goku throwing Chi-Chi into space. I originally searched for a shot of the Earth similar to this one in Dragon Ball, but I unfortunately could not find one. As such, I used a more realistic shot of the Earth. Had I found a more cartoonish shot, I'd have likely used a different effect on Chi-Chi leaving the atmosphere, such as this. Its original particle world effect, with an added roughen edges effect from After Effects. I also edited Goku's expression here. Also, we're very aware, for those of you who picked up on it, that this is not how the science would technically work out. But we actually have a very good reason and explanation for how it works. So anyway, this scene with the androids, a total bitch. And you can see why it's a total bitch. And those lip flaps are all properly timed too. No cheating, frame by frame. Also, those aren't 16's actual lip flaps from this scene. I can't remember what scene they're actually from, as I edited and saved these in Photoshop, but they aren't. Real quick, this shot of Goku here, I used it twice in this episode, both with different backgrounds, originally from this scene. Also in this shot, I gave Goku some new lip flaps from Chi-Chi over here, and I made new lip flaps for him here. I also used the rotobrush and wiggle tools with motion blur to make Chi-Chi shake. In this next scene, I redrew part of Krillin's mouth to remove his smile. I also replaced the background a few times behind him, flipped his mouth upside down in this shot, and gave him a new expression here. I also pasted Ten Shinhan in this shot, and this shot. And finally, this shot of Goku teleporting in, done with a vertical blur and the cartoon effect in After Effects. In this next scene, I changed Gohan's expression, as well as used the same vibration effect from Chi-Chi earlier on Vegeta, as well as moved his eyes to look at Goku. As for this next scene, this shot. This panning, moving, lip flap shot. I also borrowed some lip flaps for Android 17 here from another shot, which again, I cannot remember. In this shot, I posted a shot of Goku from an earlier scene, and moved Mr. Popo's eyes, making a separate layer. Oh my god! Oh my god, that is so much worse! That is so much worse! I also borrowed the shot of Goku from a later episode, and pasted him here where Kami shows up next to him. As a side note, I really loved this scene, as I felt it was appropriate to give Popo some development considering what's to come. This next shot required me to edit Goku's face, redrawing his eyebrows and half of his actual eyes. I also slightly raised and stretched Popo's lips here to correspond with his little grunt of affirmation. I would do the same thing with Krillin later here. This next scene with the television is a bit of a disappointment to me, actually. I feel like I could have done more with the news segments, as well as the graphics for the channel turning, but unfortunately I did not have the time. I did have the time, however, to fix another animation error on Toei's part. Now, this last scene before the ending is actually the first scene I worked on in this episode, partially because I knew it was going to have a big visual edit. See the shot where Trunks gets slapped? Here's the original shot. Yeah, it actually took me a while to recolor everything and adjust the brightness as necessary. Also, Trunks' hair was originally much longer in this shot, So thank you, Stefan Krosix, for touching up the art here. Very much appreciated. And finally, the panty clone scene. This was the second scene I worked on. That's actually a picture of Panty's head pasted on a picture of baby Goku's body with the tail erased. I pasted it over the original cell fetus and did some recoloring, etc. In this shot of it here, I actually had to repaint part of the background for Dr. Brief, as the original shot already had him on screen. All in all, this was the most technically difficult scene in the episode, but I personally love how it came out. Again though, I think I could have done a little bit more with it if I had the time. And hey, that's it folks! Thanks for giving this one a watch. I had a lot of fun with it. Expect the breakdown for episode 46 sometime next week most likely. Meanwhile, we'll be working on episode 47 and History of Trunks. We also have more gaming content if you're interested. Please give them a try, as they help support us more than you know. Thanks again. Ciao.